What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 410th episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. I'm your host, SBJ. Will here with me.
Will Anderson, owner of Unpopular Opinions, including I don't really care for the Ariana Grande Lady Gaga song that came out, and I can't tell the difference between Carly Rae Jepsen and Miley Cyrus. That's me.
Don't get me started on that song. We're going to have our own podcast to talk about the disappointments.
Greg here.
I am here. I've done my gay duty. I listened to the pop song that was released that has everybody happy.
That's what I'm saying. That's the Ariana Grande Lady Gaga one.
Yeah. 2010 Basement Jacks called. They want their song back.
Yeah. So I listened to that, and then I was like, okay, back to The Cure.
A lot of Pokemon news this week, specifically regarding Sword and Shield DLC. Is there an Angel Pokemon? Angelmon? Angelmon? The Angemons. That's the Angemons scream from above. Light beams down on Pokemon Home. It finally got another update.
What did they even fix?
We will get to that.
For crying.
So let's jump into some news. Of course, all this Sword and Shield news. Let's start with some Pokemon Masters. Full disclosure, I am partnered with DNA. Will and Greg are not. Very simple Master news here. You either like her or you don't. Jasmine and Steelix added to the game. The Johto region gym leader Jasmine and her iconic partner Steelix are coming to Masters. Well, this was published May 21st. I believe Jasmine's in the game now.
Yep.
She made her debut in Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver. Jasmine was the first gym leader to specialize with Steel-type Pokemon that many trainers have ever encountered. Since she's learned some new tricks are sure to come in handy in Paseo. Using Jasmine and Steelix in battle, start off by using her X defense to sharply increase your whole team's defense. Then unleash Sync move Steel-clad Iron Tail. Not only will the Sync move Mega evolve Steelix into Mega Steelix for the rest of the battle, but it will also become more powerful based on how high Jasmine's and Steelix's defenses have been raised. There's also a flying type event going on in the game right now. Pretty short and simple. I don't know if, Greg, you have pulled Jasmine. Probably not, because I think you've been pulling for Wally.
I pulled for Wally. Still have not had Wally. And now I'm like, I don't have a lot of gems because some of us, get the old gems the old-fashioned way. We earn them instead of, signing our soul away to get gems.
I don't know what you mean.
Steven, how many gems do I have? I have 620. So I've started to pull once on Jasmine and once on Wally to maximize my dissatisfaction with my pulls. Both will be bad.
It's like shiny hunting. You're just consistently disappointed until you finally get it.
Oh, still don't have that dupe either.
Oh, look, it's Bruno. Let's see if I get Wally. Guarantee you I won't.
How sad would you be if I tried to pull for Wally and I actually got him?
Oh, look, it's Tate.
But did you get Liza?
I've had the twins for years. Are you kidding me? I have the twins, I have the Brysons, I have the Bugsies. I would be happy for you, Will, if you pulled any of these top tier Pokemon Master Sync pairs.
Could I trade it to you?
No!
Is there any gacha game that has trading? I don't think so.
None of the ones that I play, no. I feel like there is something that does.
This is off Pokemon.com. This is the big news, which, I don't know, events in date format, people line that up to pointing at specific times of like, oh, the Pokemon community loves to point at
community
things.
Loves their dates and loves their forecasting.
Right.
And they have never been wrong.
Yeah, right?
We got home on the 7th, As
we had
predicted.
Espeon, Umbreon in Gen 2, and then they gave us 2 more Eevees in Gen 4, and then they gave us 2 more, and they gave us another Eevee in Gen 6, so obviously, more Eevees in Gen 8, the pattern, guys. Oh, wait.
What do you think is going to happen in the Isle of Armor? There's a new Eevee form.
Got it. Okay.
Because of the fighting, JoJo, finally we get a fighting.
Well, I mean,
Eevee.
that's why we've had Gigantamax Eevee all this week, is to prepare us.
Prepare us for Slappy-on, the slapping Pokemon.
Get Galarian, Mr. Mime, Ponyta, Corsola, and Meowth with hidden abilities. 4 cool Pokemon. These are Pokemon.com's words, not mine. 4 cool Pokemon and bonus items via mystery gift in Sword and Shield. With the release of the Isle of Armor, the first part of the Sword and Shield expansion pass drawing near. So it doesn't look like we're getting a delay on this, which I don't necessarily think we would have, since Game Freak did technically put out a press release in Japanese a couple months ago saying that they were working at home, and they personally, didn't think there was going to be any delays. They just
You
said,
can cut and paste at home. I've done it for my job for a month and a half now.
It's true, yeah. Why would they're cutting it? They're pros. They got the Excel spreadsheets open.
Yep.
Players of Sword and Shield will be able to receive 4 special Galarian Pokemon via mystery gift starting May 22nd. There will be a new mystery gift every week containing a Pokemon, Galarian Mr. Mime, Galarian Ponyta, Galarian Corsola, and Galarian Meowth, along with a variety of items. All of these Pokemon will have hidden abilities, making them valuable additions to your teams. And the Mr. Mime was in a Cherish Ball, so I think probably safe to gamble, maybe, that the next 3 will be in Cherish Ball. If you care about the Pokeball it's in, just so you know, Cherish Ball does not breed down. The Cherish Ball and the Master Ball are the 2 that do not breed downwards.
Ooh.
So this is okay. This is another kind of silly thing that the English Pokemon website didn't put like end dates on, which is like kind of weird.
Yeah.
But there are end dates. So they just say like May 22nd, Galarian Mr. Mime, May 29th, Galarian Ponyta. So it doesn't specifically say Galarian Mr. Mime ends, but they do. So when I went to the Japanese website, they do have actual end dates there. It is that when the Galarian Mr. Mime, when Galarian Ponyta starts, Galarian Mr. Mime does end. So keep that in mind. I made a handy graphic. It's on Twitter and Instagram. It'll be in the show notes below if you just want something to refer to. And I try to make graphics for news so they're easy to follow. They're shareable. And I think they've been received well. People say they like them. So May 22nd, Galarian Mr. Mime, hidden ability Ice Body. Plus, you'll get a Lure Ball, a Moon Ball, a Heavy Ball, and a Dream Ball. So even if you don't want the Mr. Mime, you get some Apricorn Pokeballs here.
I never use those. I feel like it's such a big decision upon which one to use,
or if
that
they'll fail.
I never make that decision, and I do everything in luxury balls.
They have said in the trailer a couple months ago, they said that there will be a new. They said I can't remember the exact words. It said something of the sort of more Apricorn balls or whatever. I don't know. People got all up in arms and were like, "Oh, we're gonna have Apricorn trees. It's gonna be really easy to do it. Kurt will be back." I don't know if you guys remember Kurt.
I remember Kurt.
Jump to these conclusions right away, and maybe that's true. Maybe old man Kurt shows up. They showed Slowpoke in the trailer. We all know Kurt loves Slowpoke. Maybe he's gonna slam a hammer, make Apricorn balls left and right, pump them out. Then you don't have to worry about these hard decisions of I only have 2 Dream Balls. Do I want to waste this in a Dream Ball? I broke out. I just wasted a Dream Ball. Got to turn off my game. I mean, 200 IQ is you bring a Yamper, you ball fetch it back. No big deal.
Well, you're only going to use Dream Ball on Dreepy. Duh.
No, that's Beast Ball.
No, Beast Ball is for Galarian Meowth.
But
because he's a beast.
These events make it seem like they still want these balls to be rare.
Yes.
And these events, and trickling balls out like this. That was a weird sentence. When you trickle Pokeballs in a DLC sort of way or in downloadable content sort of way, it is a way to encourage trading, which I think they've kind of figured that out of like, I'll use my Dream Ball on Litwick, and now I can give people Litwicks, and then they don't have to waste their Dream Ball on a Litwick, right? It's a really good way of encouraging trading. But going back of, like, there probably will be a way to get these apricorn balls in the Isle of Armor. Maybe, maybe you have to, like, get to the end of the tower or something. But there is a way to do it in Sword and Shield. Through the Champion Cup, you can get more of these Pokeballs. They're extremely, extremely rare. So I get people love these Pokeballs, and I saw so many people get excited being like, oh my gosh, we finally have a way to get more of these. There was always a way to get more. Going through the Champion Cup was the way. So
it's just incredibly unpleasant, and nobody wants to do it that way.
So I just, maybe reassessing expectations of, who's to say that in the Isle of Armor there's not some other tedious way to get it?
You have battle points that you have to do.
I kind of like the rareness of these Pokeballs because I think it does encourage the trading and it makes them feel a little bit special.
I only use one type of Pokeball. Like for my entire Galarian Pokedex, I use one type of Pokeball, Dusk Ball. And that's it.
Oh, luxury ball or go home.
You know what? I'm only going through these horrible raids to catch Pokemon that I need for utility, and Dusk Ball is going to get the job done for me, although I did lose an Eevee to a Dusk Ball this morning.
Womp.
May 29th, once the Mr. Mime ends, that'll be Galarian Ponyta with Hidden Ability Anticipation. It's coming with a Level Ball, Fast Ball, Love Ball, Friend Ball, Beast Ball. So 5 Pokeballs that time. And then June 5th, Galarian Corsola with the Hidden Ability Cursed Body. Plus, you'll be able to get a Sweet Apple, a Tart Apple, a Chipped Pot, a Cracked Pot, a Sachet? Am I saying that right?
That's good enough for English.
Sure.
And Whipped Dream.
Tell you, I'm going to be happy for that apple because that's one of the few things holding me back on completing my Pokedex. Don't have no Appleton yet.
And then finally, June 12th, Galarian Meowth with its hidden ability Unnerve plus 100 XP candies, the large size, and 50 nuggets.
Is this
I want the
Super
nuggets.
Meowth?
No, this is Galarian Meowth. Super Meowth. Gigantamax
okay.
Meowth next week. I'm sick of all these Charizard haters. Charizard's in everything. Leon has a Charizard. Let's talk about Meowth. Every episode of the anime. Big Meowth event next week. Downloadable Meowth in June 12th. Free Meowth when you buy the game. Where is the Meowth hate? Charizard's getting too much hate. It's actually Meowth. Meowth has an Alolan form, a Galarian form. Look at all this Meowth. Why? Nah, I don't really care. I like Meowth. Meowth gets a lot of attention, though.
I mean, you're a cat person.
You're a cat person, so your whole rant came off as false because you have 3 Milwaukeean Meowths. Thank you very much. In
One's
your
real
own home.
fat too.
Well, those of us
fat.
who
Archer is a monster.
Archer's a big one. Biggie. Those of us who have dogs, where's the Amper love? Where's the Boltund love? Where's my downloadable hidden ability Boltund? Nowhere.
What? I don't think isn't it just ball fetch? Does the Yamper? Oh no, Yamper does have a hidden ability.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah, but that's like ball fetch is the go-to. I'm not throwing a single apricorn ball unless Yamper's on my team.
I mean, Rattled is its hidden ability.
Yes, yeah, Rattled.
Which is like, now you're just being rude. Well, although, so competitive for Boltund's hidden ability could be real good. I mean, you'd have to switch to special attack, which Boltund's not great at special attack. It's not bad.
There's a reason I didn't evolve my shiny Yamper to Boltund. Because ball fetch is way more versatile than anything Boltund can provide.
But give me my competitive Boltund so that I can lose my one battle with my good dog in the online competition, which I've already done.
The Galarian Meowth event starts June 12th, which is a Friday. On the calendar.
So far in the future.
Which makes people tend to believe that either the Island of Armor comes the 19th, if we're assuming that the Meowth event So the Japanese website doesn't say when the Galarian Meowth event ends. It says when the, Mime event ends, when the Ponyta starts, Ponyta ends when the Corsola starts, Corsola ends when the Meowth starts, but on the Japanese and the English website, there's no end date for the Meowth. Could be a week, like the first three. If it is a week, that means that the Island of Armor, since Nintendo has a history of releasing things on Friday, I can't remember, there's probably, out of, all of the Switch games, out of the all first-party Nintendo games, I can't remember one not coming out on Friday. So that would maybe lean to that the DLC either comes out the 19th, when the Meowth event technically would end compared to the other ones, or because they said by the end of June, the other date is the 26th. I don't think these events suddenly solidify that, because there's only 4 Fridays in the month of June. So I don't know, roll a die. It's either the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, or the 26th. So they said by the end of June. It could be the 5th. It could be the 12th. I mean, realistically, if they're trying to get everything right, they haven't set a date yet. They probably want to give people a heads up. Probably won't be the 5th or 12th, because I feel like maybe that's not enough time. We'll probably see one more trailer to really sell the game and show a new feature. So 19th and 26th seem extremely plausible as dates.
I agree.
It's the 19th.
No contention here.
I think, though, if they're showing a trailer, they probably have to show new Galarian Pokemon and probably new Gigantamax Pokemon. I think that would really solidify people's purchases. Not only do you want a trailer to give people a reason to spend the $30, whether that's, a Galarian Flygon, a Gigantamax Flygon,
the 2 Galarian Slowking forms.
Slowpoke is really popular. Like a Galarian Psyduck. Like you pick a Pokemon that people love and identify with, and
the new Eevee form.
But I mean, they have all the new legendaries and mythical that you get with the expansion.
Well, yeah, they do have Kubfu and Urshifu, but the Moltres and Zapdos stuff, that's not till the second one, the second expansion.
No, I meant Galaxy Brain Rabbit.
Oh, Calyrex.
Yeah. Oh, he's not until the second expansion.
He's not until the second one either. Yeah, we're getting Urshifu and Kubfu this time around. Besides Venusaur and Blastoise getting Gigantamax forms and the starters getting Gigantamax form, there has to be some other Pokemon getting Gigantamax form to get people excited. Maybe the Blastoise and the Venusaur is enough. But not only do you want to show a trailer to get people who already own the game to purchase the $30, you want to show a trailer that is good enough where somebody who hasn't considered buying Sword and Shield to then go, well, I want to get this. I'm sure whenever that trailer drops, it'll probably be a day I sleep in, because it seems to happen. It's like, I'll sleep in today. Oh gosh, I just missed the Pokemon news.
Well, could you sleep in on Tuesday and just make it easy on all of us?
Yeah.
Wait, what does sleep in mean for you?
Sleep in is like 1 p.m.
Oh, that's pretty decent into the day.
Yeah. But I assume they show a trailer, and at the end of the trailer, it says a date, whether that's June 19th, June 26th, June 12th, whatever. 100 experience candies and 50 big nuggets. That's a lot of money for that June 12th with the Meowth. So I wonder if clothes are going to be real expensive in this expansion.
Yep.
I have the one outfit I need. I don't need any more clothes. I need wishing pieces. That's it.
So Pokemon Home got updated, and we're going to talk about that in a bit. But because Pokemon Home got updated, that meant that data miners have seen that some new moves have existed in Pokemon Home, which probably lead to what is possibly coming in Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC. So now this is a rumor. I think it's slightly interesting. They're just moves. We don't know what the moves do. We don't know. We don't know who knows the moves. We just know the names of the moves. There's 21 moves that were pulled from the Pokemon Home update here. I'm going to read this off My Nintendo News, but this was pulled from Centro Pokemon, which is a Spanish Pokemon website that has They're the website that they'll pull the assets from Pokemon games. So if you ever watch like a Twitch streamer and they have like a little animated Pokemon dancing around, that was probably pulled directly from, Sun and Moon's files, that animated Pokemon. So they pull that stuff. They provide those assets. Don't know if the Pokemon company knows about them or cares or wants to shut them down, but so they have French, Italian, and Spanish on their website. I can't read any of that. My Nintendo News apparently did the translation here. So these are probably not final names for moves either, but we never know. So these are some of the moves here. Expanding Force, Steel Roller, Scale Shot, Meteor Beam, Shell Sidearm, Misty Explosion, Grassy Glide, Rising Voltage. See, those last three have like a theme to them. A Terrain Plus, Skitter Smack, Burning Jealousy, Lash Out. Those two sound like dark type moves. Poltergeist, which I guess is not
as a move.
Corrosive Gas, Coaching, which maybe sounds like a helping hand. Flip Turn, Triple Axle. Those are two. They're adding skateboarding type to the game. Dual Wing Beat, Scorching Sands, Jungle Healing, which we know is...
Axle is an ice skating move.
Oh, my bad.
You're thinking of like a kick flip into an ollie?
Well, the first one was called Flip Turn.
No.
Jungle Healing, which we know is a move. It's a rude signature move. Wicked Blow, and Surging Strikes. So those are the 21 moves that seem to be added to the game. Or maybe added to the game. Again, none of this is confirmed. This is just what people have seen in the update to Pokemon Home's database. Now I'm going to read them all in Italian.
See, I mean, and they're certain they're just moves. They're not.
Yes, we're certain they're moves. Yeah, there is a move category database in Pokemon Home. Jungle Healing we know for sure is a move because they already announced that with Zarude. The data miners are believing that both Wicked Blow and Surging Strikes are signature moves for Urshifu.
That sounds right for their typing and everything.
Right. Poltergeist is probably a move for Poltegeist.
That doesn't sound appropriate at all.
Corrosive Gas sounds like something would be for Galarian Wheezing.
No, I would think, who's Rock and Roll Dude? Dag nabbit.
Toxtricity?
Yeah. Because he's more poisony.
I would say Rising Voltage sounds like a move for Toxtricity.
No, Toxtricity doesn't fly.
Rising Voltage? I don't know. I feel like that means like increasing that feels like electric terrain almost, but obviously electric terrain is electric terrain.
Rising Voltage.
Misty Explosion, Grassy Glide, Rising Voltage, Terrain Plus all seem like...
But do we think that are we making the assumption that new moves are going on existing already in the game Pokemon and not just exclusively for the ones that are being introduced in this expansion? So all the ones are being added will get these new moves, but the ones that already have set move pools are going to be untouched. What's making us think that they're going to start changing up the movesets of ones that are already been in the game?
To give you a reason to go through the dojo multiple times.
Do you think these are going to be...
I bet these are dojo exclusive moves where you have to take your Poltegeist through the dojo and learn what the dude is teaching you.
And then more like a move tutor type thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because if this whole thing is based around this dojo, and if you do the dojo once and you're done, people are going to be like, well, that was a waste of $30. But you need to have a reason for somebody to go through the dojo multiple times with different Pokemon. And if you're like, well, you love your Toxtricity is really sweet, but now if you take your Toxtricity through the dojo, you walk out with Toxtricity learning Rising Voltage. That's what I think. Otherwise, I don't know why you would go through the dojo multiple times. I mean, what do you even do for the battle tower? Why do you go through that multiple times to get BP? And
so
you
I can get my Apricorn balls.
No, that's Champion Cup. Champion Cup is for Apricorn balls and for wishing pieces and whatever. The battle tower is for BP, which you can buy ability capsules and stuff. It also gives you the ribbon for those who care about that, but otherwise, this is another battling thing, and we know there are 2 towers, and we know that depending on what tower you go, locks into your Kubfu. And if they built these 2 towers for gameplay, I can't imagine they want you to go through them once. I can't think of a single tower in Pokemon, in a Pokemon game where they don't want you to go through multiple times. Maybe Bellsprout Tower. But usually they want you to go through these things, multiple times.
Yeah. I could see, like, if these moves are worth the tutoring, then sure.
Just a rumor, though. Again, these moves were in the database of Pokemon Home, but we have no clue if they will actually be in a final Pokemon product. So I want to stress that.
It's just a rumor.
Mm-hmm. All right.
From hackers. Do you trust hackers?
Do you? Hackers.
They've stolen your identity by just believing them.
Speaking of hacking, we're going to hack into a break. And then when we come back, we'll actually talk about the changes to Pokemon Home. And then we have a little bit of other news. And then we'll wrap up the show. So we will be right back. This is the year of Maractus. This is the year of Maractus. Maractus. Well, some could argue that 2019 is the year of Maractus.
Who would argue that?
This is the year of Maractus.
No, this is the year of Goomeractus.
All right, let's talk about some Pokemon Home. It updated to 1.1.0. Woo!
There's your news. All right. Next news item.
All right.
Okay, so
moving on.
Updated on May 22nd, UTC. Thank you for your continued support of Pokemon Home. This notice is to inform you that your mobile device has been updated to 1.1.0. The update include the following. Battle data feature has been implemented. People were really excited about that one. A bug.
What does that mean?
You can actually check your battle record and competitions and download rules onto the device.
Oh.
A bug where the information for Gigantamax Alcremie would not be registered, and other issues have been fixed. I don't know. Okay. Additionally, to celebrate this update, trading Pokemon in Home will be enhanced for a limited time. This is really important. People have missed this part, but we're going to talk about that. There is a separate notice in the mobile device version of Pokemon Home to notify you when the limited period is going to end.
But this is like the most important news item of the whole thing.
Well, I don't look. I'm not Game Freak. Okay, so you can. So they added. You can trade with friends far away. You'll be able to trade Pokemon with friends who are far away. Trade Pokemon with more people around the world using Wonder Box. The time is needed to complete a trade using Wonder Box. Time has been shortened. And then enjoy more casual trades using Trade Room. The number of times you're allowed to join a free group has been increased from 3 to 10. Additionally, the time periods for a player can join a room to select a Pokemon have been shortened, which we've complained about that it was a little long.
Yeah, real long. So are we going to test this out live, Steve? Are we going to trade?
Because that makes great audio. To answer your one question, Greg, the reason why they don't have this is to prevent people from selling Pokemon.
I'm waiting for a trade right now, Greg.
Oh my word.
I started it. Oh, hey, look.
I think, yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people were frustrated because, if you're missing, I don't know, if you're just missing Zeraora to complete your Pokedex and you have a bunch of friends that have Zeraora and you don't live near those friends, it can be extremely frustrating. Why do I have to move Zeraora from Pokemon Home to Sword and Shield just to trade?
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. So I don't know why. I mean, you make a great point of to prevent people from selling, but the people who are buying and the people who are selling are going to, both those communities are going to exist regardless of home existing or not.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean I have to make it easier for them.
Ooh, we did it. Trade complete.
What'd you trade?
I got a Maractus.
I got a Roselia.
Oh, that sounds about right for both of you guys.
Yep.
If I'm in Pokemon Home and I trade a Shelmet for a Carablast, am I getting what I expect on the other end, or am I just getting a Shelmet and a Carablast?
We can
Think
try
you're
it
just
right
getting-
now. I got
let's try it.
I don't have extras.
I got
Yeah.
here. I'll trade with Greg. I'll do.
Hold on. Let me
I'll
see
do
if I have a. Let me see what I got.
I got all of them. You let me know what you need.
Oh, I'm Mr. Pokemon. I got all the Pokemon.
So they did limit. This is what I have so many thoughts about this. Either way,
Organize them.
they only allow you to trade 10 times a day with
Yeah.
friends. So if their goal is to prevent people from just trading all day and filling a Pokedex, maybe that's why. But you can do that in Sword and Shield, right? I could sit there and trade you all day, Will, until you have a complete Pokedex in Sword and Shield.
I have one Carablast, so
I will
can
trade
do that.
you a Shelmet then.
All right.
But they limit it 10 times, which, if I trade this Carablast to Greg and Greg trades me a Shelmet and then they evolve and then we trade back, that's 2 trades. So if I'm trading Will Zeraora for the Dex completion, he trades a bit. What am I looking for?
Shelmet.
Okay. This one's from the
Do you
Unova
honestly
region.
think you have a special Shelmet?
Possibly. Well, those ones from Kalos, though. What is this one
They
from? This one
evolve
is from
differently.
the Galar region. All right, we'll do this one.
All right.
It looks kind of like a simplified Pokemon Go. The interface
Yeah.
does. Goodbye, Shelmet.
Goodbye, Carablast.
This is how long the trade is taking. I'm not going to cut this audio to prove that.
Wow.
This is.
I thought they shortened everything.
I mean, it's pretty. Look, Will, it has to go to NASA and then back. That's how trading
Yeah.
works. It has to go to 18 satellites in the sky.
Take good care of Shelmet.
It did not evolve.
Nothing.
Well, thank you for the science there.
The science has been done.
We did it. We did it so you don't have to.
So I would
I
assume
mean-
it would be the same with like Haunter and stuff.
Yeah, that's dumb. But I suppose they did build the full functionality into the game. Yeah, I got just this lonely little Shelmet here. Just bashful.
I wish they would just say why they care about this. Like they clearly
Yeah.
do. They clearly launched an app with no trading, not because they didn't know how to do it, because they purposely didn't want people to trade. And then they added trading, and then they said it's temporary, and you can trade 10 times a day, which I think is fair. I think that's fine. Like, hey, you want to complete your Pokedex, and you're going to rope your friend into trading you 200 Pokemon? 10 a day.
I mean, I really think that that's still all around not selling Pokemon, because the issue is that you're doing this on mobile. So there may be some people that are maintaining their Pokedex in mobile and don't have a Switch yet, and they'd still be interested in buying Pokemon.
I feel like that's such a very specific and small use case to stop millions of people from trading a huge part of the game. Like,
yeah, I mean,
There's nothing.
no disagreement.
I mean, there's nothing about limiting it in home that suddenly stops buying Pokemon. And you still have to do friend codes.
Do Japanese people even use eBay?
I don't know if anybody's told them about eBay. I'll check.
I'm frustrated in the communication aspect. Like, what they have a thought process of doing this, and they just don't communicate it with us. Like in Sword and Shield, they locked the starters, which you can jump to the conclusion the reason they locked starters is because they didn't want people to turn on and off their game for 40 plus hours or 80 plus hours or 200 plus. Like, you're not guaranteed a shiny, even if it's 1 in 4,000.
I have an answer.
And so they want people to play the game and shiny hunt later. So, like, logically, that makes sense. They don't want you to, get to Zekrom in black and white and turn on and off your game over and over because they probably want you to see the end of their video game that they made. And then when you're done with that end of the video game, then you can do whatever you want. I think it's very important for your player base to experience the entire package you made, so they don't get halfway through a game and then go, well, this ruined my fun because I didn't get my shiny, or I didn't get this, or I didn't get that, and now I'm going to go to a different game. Trading in home, I can't think of what the logic is at this point. And if it is like something like, well, we don't want people hacking, or we don't want people completing the decks, or we're trying to, like, even the preventing of mythicals from GTS, that totally makes sense. You know, they want mythicals to be these rarer Pokemon, and you can trade legendaries, you can trade forms, you can trade Alola, you can trade any Pokemon that isn't mythical through GTS. Cool.
Even if it's hacked.
But even if it's hacked, which they haven't figured out how to stop or whatever. But, like, come out and say, like, the reason we don't want mythicals to be traded on GTS is because we want them to feel special. Like, just tell us what you want to do, what you want us to do with your products. Like, why are you limiting 10? Like, give us a reason why. Or tell us, like, what your thought process is of this. Why are you going to remove it in the future? We are temporarily giving you the ability to trade with people all over the world. We will remove that. You will see an update in Pokemon Home in the future of when we're removing it. But why are you giving it to us now?
Why are you taking it away?
And why are you taking it away? Like, just communicate. I don't understand.
I don't get it. I don't, like, normally if a business isn't saying something, I can usually figure out the convoluted reason why a corporation would stop it. I cannot begin to fathom on a thing that's about trading when you already have multiple steps, when you can literally contact a person who's selling it and throw it up in the GTS and say, I'm going to look for this very specific thing, you look for this very specific thing, go, which I've done when I was getting on my Vivillon. It was real easy to do that. Allowing this ease and taking it away doesn't make sense. If you don't want the problem, whatever bizarre problem you're trying to solve, if you don't want that problem, figure out in your code how you're going to fix it. This is, I can't understand. Also, there's no eBay in Japan.
Yeah, I saw that. So they clearly don't want us to soft reset for things. Zamazenta, Zacian, Eternatus, Silvally, type null. Anything that is given to you by a person in that game, you can't soft reset for. Slowpoke. So they're like, we're done. We don't want people to soft reset. Okay, sure, fine. But they also haven't fixed the raid den bug where people are just moving their clock forward like 4 days.
Oh, time travelers are the worst.
And like within, this is such a small market sample,
yeah.
But within Twitch, the second they launched Eevee, Gigantamax Eevee, which by the time this podcast goes up, it'll probably be rotated to Meowth. But within 5 minutes of Eevee being live at 7:05 p.m. Central Time, I went to Twitch's Pokemon Sword and Shield directory, and I counted over 50 people hosting shiny Gigantamax Eevee on their streams, desperate for anyone to watch them and give them their Twitch primes.
Wow. See? Once again, selling stuff.
Like within 5 minutes, they have this figured out. And if they care about soft resetting, which they seem to care about now, which is fine, whatever. I get it. I've said this a million times on this podcast. I think turning on and off a video game is a bad way to consume a video game. If they care about that, then why have they is Island of Armor going to fix this raid den exploit? We know that there's going to be more raids. They care about this, but they don't care about that. And if they do care about that, they haven't fixed it. But they have fixed like the Wonder Trade bug, which was like malicious. That was, I guess, more malicious than like a raid den exploit. And they're doing more and more events, and they seem to care about that kind of stuff. And they don't want people to trade in home unless they're standing next to people. But then they just allowed people to trade in home over the internet. But they're going to take it away from everyone. Is there like 2 people at Game Freak that lead some sort of divisions that like one is like let them have fun. And the other was like, no, we need to ensure the rarity of these digital creatures.
It's not even that. It's probably like what did we say? Game Freak has 180 employees or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's 179 of them who are like, let's just let people have fun and do fun things, and we'll be creative and have creative ways for people to have fun. And then there's the lawyer.
Yeah.
And the lawyer says, well, if we do this, we assume a liability and we're going to get sued because somebody's out there selling hacked Pokemon, and we knew that it was too easy for people to make hacked Pokemon, and now they've created a marketplace for these on your mobile device, and some parent got mad, so now we have a lawsuit, and we really didn't need that aggravation.
There's a difference, though, of like somebody actually hacking the game and selling Master Balls on three Master... By the way, if you're curious what the price of 3 Master Balls are, it's $10 on eBay.
Ooh, that's a lot. I'm not paying $10 real for that.
Well, it's not Pokebucks.
I don't know if you can duplicate items in game. I don't think so. I don't think there's like a duplication exploit like Animal Crossing seems to have every single week, where somebody else has figured out a way to like bop a table, twist the table, shake the table, and all of a sudden you got 2 items.
Bop it.
But there's
Shake
I feel like there's a
it.
difference of people exploiting an obvious issue, which is the raid den, because they're not using software to do that. And then there's a difference of somebody just I've sold eBay, get Gigantamax shiny square Charizard $5.99, 500 sold, not legit, all caps legit shiny Charizard. Like, that was probably made with PK Hex and then duplicated a million times, and the dude's making $5 a Charizard. And there's a market who's buying it. And I feel like I'm more mad at the people buying the Charizard than I am at the hacker. Because people are like, well, I just want the shiny Charizard to brag about, so here's the $6 on eBay.
On eBay right now, I could buy for my Pokemon Sword and Shield. Not only is it a 6 IV G-Max Charizard, but it's ultra shiny.
Ultra shiny?
And it's only $2. 677 sold. 100% buyer satisfaction.
They've made
free shipping.
$1,000. $1,000, Greg.
Free shipping, though.
That's a heck of a deal.
And it's timid nature. It's got Fire Blast, Dragon Pulse, Solar Beam, and Air Slash. And it's ultra shiny. And I can use PayPal credit. This person also is selling an ultra shiny Destiny Not Ditto, an ultra shiny Gengar.
What if Game Freak just did an event where it was really easy to get Dittos? And when you caught the Ditto, it gave you like Destiny Knots and Everstones.
I'm sorry, I was sick in the hospital when that event happened. So
to eBay you go.
Exactly.
6 IV Perfect Shiny, not Ultra Shiny though. Kiram. Sorry, I'm gonna wait for an Ultra Shiny to show up on eBay for $2. This is the strangest.
But this is like every game though. Like even in like World of Warcraft, there were like buy my World of Warcraft account. I'm level 80.
I have. None of that has stopped. Like everybody, like we get spam in Final Fantasy 14 to level your character up, get whatever job you want up. Just turn the account over to so and so, and they'll just quick do all the work. Like that market has never stopped. Just like this market has never stopped. And I don't think limiting these steps that they take to limit these things is going to do anything. The problem isn't that it can happen in game. The problem is that they're not pursuing their IP through things like eBay. Like this exists. This has been a problem forever in the game, and you aren't doing anything to stop it. That is the bigger law concern than it's easier to trade in home. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that it might be easier to hack the home database to create quote-unquote legitimate looking on your phone into another phone and have never bought their game.
Well, if you look at something like Pokemon GO or Pokemon Masters, like are people hacking in coins or gems? I mean, there was like a gem hack in like the first week, but they fixed it. But like, I can't go on eBay and like buy gems on Pokemon. Hold on.
No, and especially because of Android and Android's ability to do all kinds of manipulations, that they're completely susceptible to these kinds of things.
Okay, at least on the first page of eBay, there's nothing for Pokemon Masters gems. There's just a lot of Pokemon TCG cards.
Yeah, I don't know that Masters has enough people playing it to make the big bucks. Wow, there are a lot of cards, though.
I mean, at least cards, you get something physical.
Well, technically, it's against eBay's terms of service to sell something digital. Like, eBay cannot protect you against digital delivery because they cannot prove it existed. So if theoretically... Why do we always talk about terms of service on this show?
Like, we should... This is the TOS cast.
We should literally start a terms of service podcast.
Oh, I'm in it. Sold. I would finally...
We're going to hit a wider market, finally.
I will finally know all those things I just said agree. I'm into it. Yes, let's do this. I need to know how deep I am with China.
If you're selling a gift card on eBay, you're supposed to physically mail them the gift card. So I've run into this issue with Destiny emblems. Oh, gosh. What to talk about a marketplace.
Wow.
PAX West would always have an area where you could play Destiny, and you would wait in line for like 3 hours because it's PAX. And then when you get in there, you would play a match of Crucible, which would be like 7 minutes. And then when you're done, you would get an exclusive emblem. And it was just a postcard with a picture of the emblem, and then it was like a 12-digit code. And then you would go into Destiny, you would go to Bungie.net, you would sign into your PlayStation or your Xbox account, you would hit redeem code, you would punch in the 12-digit code, and then it would give you an exclusive emblem in Destiny. And these emblems were the things that cost money. If it was worth it to you, and you didn't care about Destiny, or you could sucker your friends into waiting in line with you, you would wait in line to play Destiny at PAX. You would get the emblem for yourself. You would have your friends that didn't care about Destiny give you the emblems. And these emblems, at the time, they went from anywhere between $50 to $250 because Destiny players wanted to collect these emblems. I was a part of this. I was a monster. I apologize. I realized my odds. But because I cared about collecting everything in Destiny, like I care about collecting things in Pokemon. I did not feel like I was getting scammed in a way of if I go to eBay and I see perfect 6 IV, all caps, legit Charizard 199, 600 sold, right? Because I knew where the codes were coming from. And I'm paying for a code that somebody waited in line for, and I would prefer them to mail it to me. But because they don't want to deal with the mail, they would send me the code through eBay for like, I bought it for like $50. I would redeem it at my game. But if it didn't work, or if it did work, I could go to eBay and say like the seller never got me my item, and I would win by default because eBay cannot prove that they emailed me a code. And even if, they can look at the email and say like, oh, there's a code here, but that code could have been expired before they sent it to me. So eBay cannot protect against that. So when I sold codes, I mailed them. I physically mailed them, and I paid the extra $2 for the tracking number. But I guess again, can't prove that that code wasn't already redeemed before I sent it, which is like really weird. But eBay is eBay.
I just sent 2 of the wildest things I've run across in my eBay hunt.
Stacked Pokemon Masters, 21 5-star Olivia Brendan Blue Red iOS, $550. This is just somebody's account, though.
$150 to buy somebody's account.
I mean, how much would you pay for a level 40 Pokemon Go account?
None.
Because those sell like hotcakes.
Nothing happens at 40.
What Mr. used to play World of Warcraft?
Yeah.
What was like a high level World of Warcraft count going for? Like $200?
Like back when it was popular?
Yeah.
I mean, back in its heyday, I want to say it was around $400, $500.
But that's not somebody hacking an account, though. That is somebody putting in time to play an account to then flip it.
No.
You would say that those were hacked accounts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, they were.
Like this dude, it doesn't say that this doesn't say stacked Pokemon Masters, 21 5-star characters. It doesn't say they sold like 40 of these yet. This just seems like a single account.
Right now, a World of Warcraft Alliance made pre-owned is $45 or best offer. Oh.
I mean, because it's Alliance, not Horde.
Ugh, don't even.
Like you could, if you really wanted to, you could probably search eBay for like Pokemon Center birthday code. Because in Japan, if you go to a Pokemon Center and you like show them your license and they're like, "Oh, you were born in July, it's July. Well, happy birthday!" And then they give you a code for the game, and then you get like a birthday Chansey or whatever, and you can redeem it in like Let's Go. And you could usually find those on eBay for like $10. But I think like that is different than just like the $2 6IV legit shiny Charizard that came with a Master Ball, right? Because like one is pinging Nintendo servers to download the birthday Chansey.
Yeah.
And then one just came from like PK Hex. But like at the end of the day, they're just like, they're not worth anything. Well, I guess the Charizard's worth $2. If we go back to the Pokemon Home argument, if we get rid of the whole concept of they're doing this because of hacking and because of eBay and because of that, what other possible reason could there be where they don't want people to trade? Like, I just don't understand.
I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, can't read their minds.
I wish they would say. I mean, I wish there was some level of transparency there.
Well, we'll keep you updated.
Stay tuned for
Stay
TOS
tuned.
Cast. Coming never.
Last bit of news here is Pokemon Go related. Unova's legendary elite Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem coming to 5-star raids. I guess 2 bits of news. First bit is that the Wednesday night raid hour is back. So Wednesdays between 6 and 7, they turn all the raids into 5-star raids. So this past week was Terrakion. The week before was Giratina?
I believe you're correct.
And then this upcoming week is going to be, I think, Reshiram.
I think so.
Trainers. 3 draconic roars can be heard in the distance. One belongs to a Pokemon that is capable of scorching the world when people turn their backs on the truth. Another belongs to a Pokemon that can raise entire kingdoms with its electricity if ideals are not revered. The final roar belongs to a Pokemon which dwells an even greater power beyond, bound by extreme cold. Originally discovered in the Unova region, first met by trainers in Pokemon Black version and Pokemon White version, legendary Pokemon Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem will make their Pokemon debut in 5-star Pokemon Go debut in 5-star raids.
That's exciting because I really like those Pokemon.
Be sure to have your remote raid pass stocked. I like the ad inserted here. Okay, so from Tuesday, May 26th to Tuesday, June 16th. So what is that, 20 days? Reshiram will be featured in 5-star raids. In addition, Reshiram will be featured every Wednesday while in 5-star raids. So May 27th, June 3rd, and June 10th. From 6 to 7, Reshiram will be in raids. Then they do their ad for how to get a remote raid pass. These Pokemon are coming. Reshiram, Zekrom, Kyurem. No words for Black Kyurem or White Kyurem.
What about my Victini?
Never.
They still haven't done Shaman?
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Or Fione.
What a shaman.
Shaman is
Manaphy.
hedgehog.
Manaphy and Fione are not ever coming to Pokemon Go. I will sign and seal that in blood. Manaphy and Fione will be forgotten by the Pokemon Company International.
Nah, they'll have some
Nah.
egg that takes like 40 years that you got to walk with.
This is a 200,000-kilometer egg.
And you must use your free incubator. No other incubator will
no
work.
other incubator will.
Well, that's not how they make money. What they're going to do
No,
is they're going to
they-
sell a special Manaphy incubator.
Yeah, it will only hatch in this $50.
No, that's how they will make
Manaphy
money, because
incubator.
you will put the Manaphy in your free incubator, and you will get so frustrated that you're not hatching eggs that you will buy other
You'll buy-
incubators
oh.
for the other eggs.
Oh, that is so dark and true.
Yep. You heard it here first.
Question
Okay,
of the week.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, hold on.
We're supposed to be voting on Twitter, correct?
Oh, yeah. That's this weekend,
And it's
I think.
supposed to start today, the 23rd,
Mhm.
to the 24th. It is nowhere on their site. Am I missing it? Am I missing this place we vote? The last thing I saw was from 16 hours ago saying, hey, look at Squirtle.
I don't
What
know.
am I voting for?
We're supposed to be voting for who gets in the next community day.
Will they not start the voting when
Oh.
Community Day starts? So Community Day hasn't started in New Zealand yet, as of this recording.
But it's only through Twitter.
Right, but you
You
would,
only vote through Twitter. So why does the community is people accessing their phone doesn't?
well, they're doing the 24-hour thing, right?
yeah.
So I would assume that the voting would exist through the 24-hour YouTube thing. So they're reminding people through the YouTube video to like vote, and so they're probably going to start when New Zealand's Community Day starts, which is in
Nobody knows what happens in New Zealand.
yeah. Everyone knows, because when it breaks in New Zealand, people then have their expectations for when their Community Day
Oh,
starts.
Got
Yep,
it.
that's exactly
Okay.
what happens.
Okay. True. All right.
Question of the week.
It's something unpredictable that comes at the end of the podcast. Now let's have that question asked.
I almost had it at the beginning, and then you lost me at the end.
Ooh, lots of questions this week.
Yeah. I try to time it so that it doesn't disappear because certain things move very fast.
This is from Catherine. Wild speculation. Will we have Pokemon Go integration? Sorry, will we have Pokemon Home integration for Go before or after the DLC drops? For Sword and Shield.
After.
Oh, absolutely after.
After.
They
After.
are not ready for that.
Yeah, I don't think I think with as much that Pokemon Go is trying to do at home stuff and all the other things and all the raid stuff, like they are willing to put that off until now that we're so close to the DLC coming. Like they don't want necessarily to overlap those two messaging. So I imagine that we'll probably hear about home integration in July.
I always thought home integration was going to be like Niantic's summer thing.
Yeah, that was last year when we thought we'd have a summer.
Yeah.
We don't have a summer.
Was that Green Day?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a Green Day, yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because like summer is when Niantic likes to roll out new things.
Yep.
Yeah, because people are outdoors, enjoying the outdoors.
I think summer, but I also think that Pokemon Home is not like... It's still so hard to recommend Pokemon Home. Like if somebody came up to me and they were like, man, I love Pokemon. I've been hearing about Pokemon Home. Love to store my Pokemon. You think it's worth the $16 a year? It's so hard for me to say like, yep, totally is. Because it's an easier question to answer if you're like, well, I already use Pokemon Bank and my Pokemon Bank is full. So do you think it's worth it? Like, yeah, because it's more storage.
Yeah.
But if you have like 200 Pokemon, is Pokemon Home worth it for $16 a year? I don't know.
Oh, heck no.
For me, it is. But for a casual Pokemon person, I that's so hard to recommend Pokemon Home at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I think home is really hardcore. You're really into it and you're really into keeping them and you're really into tracking them. And I mean, it's like, it's only $16, but that seems like if you aren't going to use it a lot, that is a waste.
Really want that Magearna.
I still haven't gotten that Magearna. But look, there's a lot that I haven't done.
Well, Pokemon of the week.
Well, okay. Last week's Pokemon of the week, it was either hard or not hard. You know, you either got it or you didn't. Although I did hear that I threw people off by describing it as a delightful Pokemon because people just take me at face value as opposed to sarcastic. Lessons learned, folks. If I'm going to choose sarcasm if I got the option. It was first revealed in the Pokemon cartoon on May 8th, 2003. So you think about what series was happening at that point in time. And its evolution is based on its personality value, much like Spinda's spots and Unknown's letter. And the calculation is based on the mathematical principle of modulo, which if you don't know what modulo is, it's where you divide two numbers, and then the modulo is the remainder. When you use the remainder for your calculation, and you have to have a modulo greater than 4. And then there's all kinds of weird things that can happen with breeding because a final evolution can breed for a completely different Pokemon. So, who's that Pokemon, folks?
It's
Wooloo.
Yeah, it's Wooloo. No. So I wrote down it's Cascoon, and I'm pretty sure I was right, but now I'm not sure.
You are correct. It is Cascoon. And I specifically said this week's delightful Pokemon because Steve is always like, nobody likes Cascoon.
No one does like Cascoon.
Yeah, I find it delightful. I like its little angry little eyes.
No one likes Silcoon.
Aw, Silcoon's
Oh, no,
sweet.
Silcoon's a sweetie.
How dare you? You're so full of anger towards these
I
beautiful,
know.
wonderful, unique creatures.
He's like Misty. He hates bug types.
Yeah, that's true.
How much is Cascoon going for on eBay?
$500?
Oh.
My ultra shiny Cascoon with perfect IVs.
Is there even one for sale?
No.
No.
Come on.
Pokemon Cascoon, uncommon, reverse holo Lost Thunder, $1.24.
Lost Thunder, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of Lost Thunders. I don't even know what that is.
Cascoon shares its category with Metapod, Kakuna, and Silcoon. They are all known as the Cocoon Pokemon. Cascoon and Silcoon have the same exact type, base, stat, move set, shape, making them nearly identical. Cascoon, along with Silcoon, can be seen without limb protrusions in their body via the anime, all main series games from X and Y onward, and occasionally in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. That means, like, in older games, they were very spiky, and in newer games, they're not spiky, but they can become spiky through their animation.
Yep.
Cascoon is
It's real weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Cascoon is the only Pokemon found in Friend Safari that's not its own type. It is found in the Poison type Friend Safari, even though Cascoon is a pure Bug type. However, it does evolve into the Poison type Pokemon Dustox.
That cutie.
Man, Friend Safari was... You want to talk about garbage ways of transferring Pokemon? Let me tell you about...
Bring back Friend Safari. Bring back Friend Safari.
I will take 10 trades.
Why did they limit you to only 6 Pokemon at a time that you had to shoot with a bow and arrow?
No. That wasn't Friend Safari. That was...
that
was
Transfer.
Black and white.
The
one.
Transport Lab.
Yeah, it was terrible.
But Transport Lab didn't have a limit. Transport Lab was so Heart Gold Soul Silver didn't have a limit either. It was Diamond, Pearl, and I think Platinum, where you could only do like 6 Pokemon a day or something. But they lifted that in Heart Gold Soul Silver, where you could do unlimited. Because I sat on a plane one time and I transferred 200 Pokemon.
What's a plane?
A plane is it's like a Lugia.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I thought we lived in Minnesota.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Isn't this a plane?
Yeah.
Or it's a prairie. Okay,
It's a prairie.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Little houses on the prairie.
Is that all the trivia?
Yeah.
Do we got a shuffle icon?
Shuffle icon is sweet.
Okay. For this week's Pokemon of the Week, I decided to make it very, very easy for everyone.
It's Chatot.
No.
Finally.
And it is one sentence.
Uh-oh.
Just pay attention to this one sentence, and you will be able to guess this week's
Did you do the
Pokemon
letter
of the
thing
week.
again? I have to write this down.
There's
Gosh,
no
darn
letters.
it.
You don't have to write anything down. Just listen to the one sentence that I am about to speak. My Pokédex indicates that on July 22nd, 2017, I was walking down South Michigan Avenue to meet up with SBJ at Burger Bar Chicago, where the air conditioning was not working, for a local fan event when I was told that this psychic flying type quasi-bird had been spotted above Buckingham Fountain, which seemed appropriate as it is known as the Lord of the Seas. There you go. One sentence.
I actually know this one. I know this one.
Yeah, it's Chatot. Well, you were there, dude. I mean, this is like also nonfiction.
That's our podcast this week. That's it.
That's it.
There's
There's no more.
You have until May 27th, 2020, if you want to take part of our 10-year anniversary thing through Patreon. Too long, didn't read. Anyone who is a Patreon member for the month of May, and the last day is the 27th, which is a Wednesday, which is not the... Look, I know it's not the end of May. They told me to pick an end date. I picked an end date. So if you're a Patreon member for the end of May, you will have your name on a project we're doing for our 10-year anniversary, which is July, because I need that information going into June. So by the end of June, it's done. And then we can launch it in July. Also, June is a very busy month for me because of the DLC. So I'm trying to get everything ahead of schedule. So that's why it's here. So if you want to support on Patreon, patreon.com/it's super effective or ise.cash. We say it every now and then. It's also in the show notes if you want to support. There are a couple new reward tiers that exist. And that's it. I'm not going to spiel why you should give $2 a month, but I think I've spieled before. That's our episode, though. Thank you for listening. Thank you for making it to the end. Will is at Washing the Sink. I'm at Dragging a Lake. Greg is at White Wing. I almost said White Wing is at Greg.
Yeah, no. Nah.
Greg is at White Wing on Twitter. You follow the podcast on Twitter at PKMNcast. And if you want to go the extra mile and you haven't reviewed us in Apple Podcasts, then do that. I heard Spotify is going to get reviews soon, but I don't think that launched yet.
Yeah, I don't think it has, but they're attempting to take over the entire podcast universe. So
Oh, they're pushing real hard. Hey,
They're pushing
Spotify,
real hard.
if anyone at Spotify is listening, this show is as popular as Joe Rogan. I would love to take an exclusive contract with you guys.
100%. You are correct.
I heard that there was a lot of money exchanged in that deal.
We could get Elon
Yeah.
Musk on here.
We could if we wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would go. He's an interesting individual.
Yeah, it's would not be great.
Mm,
His thoughts on Pokemon are very controversial.
are very controversial.
If you are one of the many podcast people that email me weekly saying you love the show, you want me on your network, and you're hearing this, you know where to find me. We'll see you guys next week. Be safe. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
Super effective.
Super ultra shiny Sableye for $2 on eBay? Sold.
That's a deal.
This podcast is supported by our Patreon backers, and some of those people paid money to get their name read at the end of this show. A huge thank you to Alex, Courtney, Jetsy, Casey, Catherine, Kay, Kevin, Liam, Matthew, Noah, Patrick, Raiton, and Sejanus. And a shout out to our executive producer of Anthony. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to support the podcast as well, you can go over to patreon.com/itssupereffective, or you can head over to the easier to remember domain, ise.cash. Super easy to remember because money exchanges hands, and ISC is short for the podcast. Also, shout out to Nick, who does all the music for the show. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for making it to the end. This was new. Hey, it was different. We will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for supporting the show and listening. Really, really, truly appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Bye.